Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Hogwarts, the Dark Lord. No, call me Satan. Chapter 21. Our respected great Lord Mephisto, have you been kicked out of the classroom by the professor? Penelope said with ridicule. In fact, when she saw Kyle at the sorting ceremony yesterday, Penelope was so excited that she didn't sleep much all night. Oh, it's you, Penelope. Should I call you Senior now? Kyle also remembered this character from the original book. I don't want to remember. Penelope sent him a letter to Nocturne Alley every now and then. Arranging his messy collar, Kyle shook his head. Hey, Professor McGonagall is really too. I've said it all, I just want to relearn Transfiguration. In the end, she insisted that I don't need to take classes because of my Transfiguration level. Isn't it? Give me a gift directly. Hey, if you want to review it again, you won't let it go. I will complain to the school when I find a chance later. Seeing the way Kyle shook his head, Penelope couldn't help covering his mouth and chuckling. Senior Penelope, where are you going? Kyle and Penelope walked side by side in the corridor. This charms class, I came out to help Professor Flitwick get something. Penelope covered her mouth and chuckled. Professor Flitwick is the Dean of Ravenclaw. Loved by the Eaglets. Your lesson is charms. Kyle's eyes lit up. This course is great. Curse. This is exactly what Kyle is good at. Do you mind if I go and listen? Yes, at the level of our famous and great Master Mephisto, the fourth-year spell course is definitely nothing to you. Penelope smiled. Professor Flitwick is great. His favorite is a little wizard with a thirst for knowledge, right? When he was young, he won the wizard fighting championship. Penelope began to introduce Professor Flitwick to Kyle. Fourth floor. Charms classroom. This lesson is given by Ravenclaw's eagle and Hufflepuff's badger. Professor Flitwick stepped on a tall stack of books. This is the only way to ensure that his head appears on the podium. Oh, Penelope, you're back. Who is this? Flitwick froze slightly when he saw Kyle. Professor, this is Kyle, he wants to sit in on your class. Penelope explained in a low voice. That's right, Professor, I still have a lot of shortcomings in spells. I think this, in Hogwarts, no, in the entire wizarding world, only you can help me make up for it. Kyle was very polite. Oh, Kyle. Flitwick recognized Kyle's identity. The famous one in Nocturne Alley. Hearing what Kyle said again, his favorability immediately exploded. Look, such a powerful person, to praise himself so much. I can't believe the rumors. Those dark wizards still say, inhuman, and, take pleasure in torturing people. What a good boy this is. Of course, my classroom welcomes all students with intellectual curiosity. It's just that you don't have to take the original course, Professor Flitwick asked. He didn't want to be unhappy with other professors because of this. Originally, this lesson was for Transfiguration, but Professor McGonagall said that I don't need to take a first-year course at my level, so I was asked to come out and study on my own. Kyle didn't bat an eye when he answered. So that's how it is. Honestly, I think you should be assigned to Ravenclaw. Please take a seat wherever you want. Thank you, Professor. Kyle bowed slightly. Then she was dragged to the last row of the classroom by Penelope, and sat down on two tables and chairs next to each other. Okay, let's go to class. I'm repeating what I'm going to talk about in this lesson, the flying curse. The caster's mind must focus on clearly imagining the object and its location. Only in this way can the success of the flying curse be guaranteed. One thing to note is, in order to take care of Kyle, Professor Flitwick deliberately repeated the knowledge points that he had finished in the first half of the class. Okay, let's continue practicing now. If anyone can successfully summon an item in this lesson, I'll give him 3 points. After letting a group of young wizards continue to practice, Professor Flitwick came to Kyle from the podium and asked with concern. Well, Mr. Kyle, I suppose it's not too difficult for you. I actually knew this spell before, but my mastery is only so-so. But after listening to the professor's lecture, I feel that my level has improved a lot. Kyle flattered without any trace. Real. Flitwick's eyes lit up. There's no one who doesn't feel happy being flattered. Unless it's in the wrong place. Professor Flitwick suddenly became more enthusiastic. Then why not try? I think I can give you some advice after reading it. Okay, Professor, let me think about what I can summon. Kyle thought for a moment. In my own capacity. Simple items, such as books, brooms and so on, will definitely not be able to bring out the style. Summon something powerful if you want to summon it. Yes, in Professor Flitwick's expectant gaze. One wave of Kyle's wand. The giant stone statue is flying. Hogwarts Castle is full of statues of all kinds. These are not only decorations, but also magic puppets that can be activated to protect the castle in times of crisis. Even at the gate of the school, there are two huge statues of knights about 5 meters high holding one-handed swords. Just today, oh, look, what's that? On the second floor, in the History of Magic classroom. The second-year Hufflepuff Badger and Slytherin's Eaglet are in class. Cuthbert Binns' lectures are so sleepy that few people are paying attention. Even the eaglets with a strong thirst for knowledge are no exception. At this moment, a little badger who was sitting by the window let out an exclamation. All of a sudden attracted everyone's attention. That looks like a stone statue at the gate of the school. Merlin, why did he fly? A huge stone statue flies across the sky. A moment later, the entire castle felt a violent tremor. Charms classroom. The little eagles and little badgers in the 4th grade looked overly frightened. Originally, I just thought that a 1st grade elementary school boy would come over to listen to the class. Result, just smashed the classroom, can you believe it? This is too scary, right? The huge stone statue smashed through the wall and landed in the classroom. Biting cold wind blows in. It's like Professor Flitwick's mood at this time. Cool it down. Ding. Depression detected. Ding. The treasure chest is being extracted for the host. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a golden treasure chest. Ding. Fear detected. Ding. The treasure chest is being extracted for the host. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a silver treasure chest. At this time, the jewel-like source of magic power on Kyle's forehead disappeared again. Well, this big move does consume a bit of mana. But this wave made another dozen treasure chests, not a loss. More importantly, the human design cannot be collapsed, and the force cannot be dropped. Professor, how about my flying charm? Can I add points? Kyle showed off to Professor Flitwick proudly. Look at the huge stone statue in front of you, look at Kyle. Professor Flitwick couldn't figure it out. How the hell did you turn a life spell, the flying curse, into a magic of mass destruction? Besides, where did you, a little wizard, get so much magic power? This is too outrageous, right? Generally speaking, the flying curse can also summon some simple things. Similar to books and food, they are not big in size. The bigger ones are just summoning a flying broomstick. But a giant stone statue like this weighs several tons. Ordinary Aurors definitely cannot be summoned by the flying curse. Professor Flitwick weighs his own level, and he should be able to do it too. But is this the brain hole of normal people? This moment, Professor Flitwick is blessed to the heart. Suddenly wondered why Kyle didn't go to Transfiguration class but came to Charms class. Very well, Mr. Kyle's flying curse is indeed beyond my expectation. Professor Flitwick waved his wand. However, I hope that Mr. Kyle will not appear in my class except for the necessary courses in the future. Boom. As soon as the voice fell, the classroom door of the Charms class was tightly closed. Kyle, who had been under the levitation spell, also fell to the ground. Really is it my fault for being too good? This is pure jealousy. You said, are they jealous of my appearance? Kyle looked at Moon Evie on his shoulder. Moon Evie doesn't have much energy during the day. Hearing this, he directly gave Kyle an expression of, you don't have a clue. Kyle, I just want to earn some emotional treasure chests, am I easy? The first class in the afternoon is potions. Kyle came to the classroom early. After 2 painful lessons in the morning, he learned from the pain. Potions class must never be kicked out of the classroom again. This lesson is still taught by Slytherin and Gryffindor together. In the corner of the classroom, Harry Potter and Ronald Weasley were whispering. Snape is the head of Slytherin house, and George told me he always favors his own house. Now we can see if it is true. I also heard that he would cut off the organs of some disobedient students and soak them in the classroom to warn others. Said, Ronald also looked around. In the corner of the classroom, there are quite a few large glass containers soaked with unknown flesh and blood tissue. Hey, Harry, what were you thinking? No. Just, forget it, it's nothing. What did you just say, Ronald? Harry Potter, who was in a daze, came back to his senses. Shake your head. Everything about Hogwarts was magical to him. However, since I entered school, I have come into contact with so many people. The doubts in his heart have not diminished at all. That's why he became an orphan. Why do so many people know him? Well, I just said. Ronald was about to repeat what he had just said. The classroom door was suddenly opened. The old bat strode in with a gloomy face. Silence, put away your wands. Listen, you have come here to learn the exact science and exacting craft of potion making. Because there's no silly wand waving here. So many of you won't believe it's magic. I don't expect you to really appreciate the beauty of the slow simmering cauldron emitting white smoke and fragrance. You don't really understand the liquid that flows into people's veins, the magical power that makes people's hearts sway and their minds blurred. I can teach you how to raise your reputation, brew glory, and even prevent death. But there must be one thing, that is, you are not the kind of stupid fools I often meet. Snape came up with a series of opening remarks, which directly frightened the little wizards present like quails. He lowered his head and dared not speak. After speaking, Snape picked up the student roster in his hand. He pointed to Harry Potter's name. Oh, look. There is a famous big shot in your class. Potter, what do I get if I add daffodil root powder to a wormwood infusion? Being called out suddenly, Harry looked dazed. I don't know, sir. Tisk tisk, it seems that sometimes fame doesn't mean everything. Then let's do it again. If I asked you to find me a piece of bezoar, where would you find it? I don't know, sir. I don't think you've read a single book before term started, have you, Potter? Snape was acting aggressive. There was a burst of laughter in the classroom. Especially the little snakes of Slytherin. They didn't have much affection for this savior. Harry, on the other hand, lowered his head. He felt like he was being targeted by Snape. Etc. Being targeted. Harry suddenly thought of what Kyle had said earlier. Maybe when you come to Hogwarts and meet someone who values you very much, you will gradually know everything. By the way, is being targeted a kind of attention? Thinking of this, Harry suddenly raised his head. He actually felt a sense of concern in Snape's eyes. Is it possible? I really don't know how you can be so depraved at your age. So tell me, what's on your mind? Snape was about to move on to a third question. But seeing Harry Potter's distraught appearance. So I said a few more words. As always, there is concern implied in the poisonous tongue. Harry Potter keenly felt the concern inside and outside the words. Looking at the same black curly hair as her own. He couldn't help but speak out the thoughts that flashed through his mind. I've been confused for the past 2 days. Everyone seems to know me and they respect me, but it's because of my parents. But now I think I finally know. What do you know? I know your identity. My identity. Snape was a little confused. Did this brat take the wrong medicine today? Yes, Dad, although I don't know why you didn't recognize me. But I think. As soon as the voice fell, the entire potions classroom became quiet. All the little wizards opened their mouths wide in surprise. It was even better for Kyle not to be choked to death by his own saliva. There is no such passage in the original book. Where is this butterfly effect? Snape also had a blank face. It felt like my whole mind was being disrupted. Harry Potter called himself Dad. Look into those green eyes. This feeling, how to say, oops, what the hell is the sudden brightening of the mood? Ding, happy emotion detected. Ding, the treasure chest is being extracted for the host. Ding, congratulations to the host for getting a diamond treasure chest. Enough, Potter, sit down. Maybe you should go to the school doctor's office to have a good look at your brain. Snape cut Harry off directly. He didn't ask any more questions, and walked directly to the front of the podium. The young wizards were asked to make only a simple, scabies potion. Snape sent materials to everyone. Kyle looked at the material in front of him. One of them is dried nettles. This is an ordinary plant, but after treatment, it is a good thing for making potions. Nettle extract has a sleeping or hypnotic effect. Under the impetus of potion mastery, talent. In an instant, countless ideas, big and small, popped out of my mind. It's a pity that he doesn't have the raw materials to refine the potion now. Glancing at the old bat, it would cause chaos in the classroom due to Neville's wrong operation. Kyle sneaked into Snape's office next door. Several cabinets stocked with potion ingredients were found. Kyle's eyes lit up as soon as he opened it. Dragon horns, dragon blood, dragon claws, salamander blood, guardian tree branches. A large number of potion materials are priceless. Many things money can't buy. It is indeed the reserve of the potion master. Kyle didn't take too much, he just randomly picked a few that he could use. Then he looked contentedly at the 3 fresh meat left in the cabinet. Facts have proved that he is not a greedy little wizard. What, you say steal? How can you say stealing such things as refining potions? Back in the classroom, Kyle couldn't wait to focus on his busy work. The other side, Snape had Neville sent to the school infirmary, and after cleaning up the spilled potions in the classroom, continued to start patrolling the classroom. Not stingy with his poisonous snakes along the way. Even in Slytherin, he had several little wizards mentioned by him. Finally, he came to Kyle. To be honest, for Kyle, Snape didn't like it at all, and even a little loathed it. Powerful talent, handsome face, and a bad name in Nocturne Alley. This directly reminded him of Voldemort, who had killed his favorite woman. He didn't know what Dumbledore was thinking. Can this kind of little wizard with blood on his hands come to Hogwarts to study? With a cold face, when he came to Kyle's table, Snape froze. Glancing at the various potion raw materials on Kyle's table, he glanced at the conversations on the desks of other students next to him. Snape suddenly had a sense of foreboding. He is familiar with several potions among them. His face was gloomy, and he was about to speak. But he was attracted by Kyle's actions. There was no doubt that Kyle was concocting a potion. As a master of potions, Snape still had this vision. It's just that this kind of refining process has never been seen before. This is not a potion he knows. Wormwood infusion and daffodil petals, these are the things that can make people fall asleep. Hellebore, which is often used as a palliative in potions. Baishion has the function of healing trauma. Black root grass can effectively resist black magic damage. Peppermint counteracts negative states. Kyle's refining technique was still very unfamiliar, but the whimsy in it caught even Snape, a potion master, in sight. Is this kid really only 11 years old? Snape looked shocked. By now he had forgotten what it was to hate and pursue the theft of potion ingredients. He was looking forward to the effect of the finished potion that Kyle would refine in a while. Gradually, the whole classroom became quiet. The other little wizards had either finished refining potions, or had simply given up. Everyone looked at Kyle and Snape curiously. Malfoy kept mumbling. He'd been elated when he'd slipped Snape into Kyle's presence earlier. Thought Snape was going to give Kyle a bad rap. Result: no, what's the situation if you don't say this sentence? Malfoy was disappointed. Also down as our primary school bully Hermione. She found herself previewing so much that she couldn't understand what Kyle was doing. About an hour later, the potion in the cauldron was finally refined, and Kyle turned off the flame. The boiling potion precipitated into a clear ruby-like potion. Just looking at this gives a warm feeling. I think this isn't something that's already on the market, it should be a brand new potion, right? Mr. Kyle, the deep voice of the old bat suddenly sounded. Professor. Kyle was taken aback. He was too fascinated when he was refining the potion just now. Why are you standing behind me? It's not important, can you tell me what this potion does? Of course, Professor, it's all thanks to you. Kyle rolled his eyes. He emptied the old bat's potion storage cabinet, so he must give an explanation. To me, yes, you told me in class that you will teach us how to stop death, which inspired me a lot. So I refined this potion. His role is to drink a bottle in advance when facing some possible danger. The medicinal power will be stored in the body, and the medicinal power will be triggered when you are injured, so as to heal the injury in time. Kyle started talking about how the potion worked. In fact, it was a big blood bottle that was very popular in online games for a while in the previous life. You don't need to manually click to use it, and it will automatically replenish blood when you are injured. Snape was taken aback when he heard that. On the surface, he was calm and expressionless, but his heart was directly numb. Prevent death. I'm just bragging, You made it happen. These potion ingredients of yours. Snape's face darkened as he remembered his original purpose. It doesn't matter, Professor, just look at what we have discovered. This is definitely one of the greatest inventions in the history of potions in this century. Kyle filled the cauldron with excitement and divided it into vials. According to my speculation, drinking one bottle can maintain the effect for at least a week. That is to say, within this week, as long as the medicine is not used up, as long as you are injured, he can heal your injury. This avoids many times when we are too late to take the potion, or the effect of the medicine is too slow. It will greatly increase the chances of wizard's survival. The most important thing is that with this idea, we can make potions with different effects. Of course, Professor, I also need to apologize to you. I had to go to your office just now to get some potion ingredients. Snape was immediately attracted by the effects of the medicine Kyle described. If so, this is definitely the greatest potion invention of this century. Not even one. He will have unlimited potential and completely change the existing potion system. The most important is, did Kyle say, we? I'm not helping you with anything, Mr. Kyle. Snape was as cocky as ever. No, you are wrong, I am the disciple of the greatest potions master of this century. It is because of your guidance that I can practice such a good potion. Kyle climbed up the pole without thinking. You must know that the class solidification in the magic world far exceeds that in previous lives. It's the same in all walks of life. The major pure blood families monopolize most of the resources in the British magic world, including the Ministry of Magic. The employment prospects faced by wizards of mixed blood or even Muggle origin after graduation are not too miserable. It is even more difficult to become a small employee of the Ministry of Magic. And even the Weasley family, known as pure blood shame. No matter how hard the pure blood family suppressed it, it would leave Ronald's father with the post of chief of staff. Even Voldemort, who was born of mixed blood, put forward the slogan, pure blood is supreme, in order to win over those pure blood families. The same goes for all kinds of magic. Hogwarts students can only learn some daily magic in school, plus a explosive weapon, and armor protection, that's all. This is especially true when Kyle wanders around Nocturne Alley. It's hard for you to imagine how crazy those wild dark wizards' desire for high-end black magic is. As for Kyle, what he lacks most at the moment is a door to open the upper echelons of the magic world. He has no shortage of money. But many resources cannot be bought with money. I'll take these potions back for special testing, and then, if it really has the effect you said, if the Merlin medal awarded to you by the Ministry of Magic is lower than the second level, I promise they will regret it. As for the matter of you stealing my potion ingredients, don't make an exception. Sure enough, when Snape heard this, put away 5 bottles of the 8 bottles of potion on the table. No more potion stolen stuff. It's just some potion raw materials. The potion raw materials in his storage cabinet were worth at least 30,000 galleons. What was Kyle taking this for? That's it for this class. You go back and sort out your notes, each write a 2-foot paper, and hand it to me next week. Back on the podium, the old bat was not even in the mood for class. After leaving a word, he left in a hurry. Hurrying back to the office next to the classroom, Snape eagerly picked up a bottle of potion. Going to test it out. I accidentally saw several open lockers. Empty. No, it's not accurate to say it's empty. At least there are still a few white fresh leaves that can be bought in a pile with 1 gin galleon. Snape remembered what Kyle said just now, and almost spit out a mouthful of old blood on the spot. A little bit. You call that a little bit? This little bit of yours is worth at least 30,000 galleons. The key is, Snape couldn't figure it out. Why do you want to say that this time is fine, and the next time is not an example? Ding. Depression detected. Ding. The treasure chest is being extracted for the host. Ding. Congratulations to the host for getting a diamond treasure chest. Hi, Kyle, wait for me. In the corridor outside the potions classroom. Kyle was about to report to Dumbledore when he was stopped by the little Lolita Hermione. Kyle, can we talk? Little Lolita had a complicated expression. Certainly. The two came to an empty corner. Tell me, what do you want to talk to me about? Kyle looked at the little girl in front of him. At this time, Hermione was not very good at dressing up. She was wearing a pair of glasses, but if you looked closely, you could still see that she was an out-and-out beauty. Ah, I want to say. Why are you sorted into Slytherin? You don't look like. Hermione stammered, obviously not yet able to phrase her words well. But Kyle understood in seconds. Are you afraid that I will become a dark wizard in the future? No, I mean, Hermione, are all Slytherins bad? As far as I know, there have been more than a dozen potions masters and several ministers of magic in the history of Slytherin. There are countless middle and high-level people in the Ministry of Magic. Really, Hermione was puzzled. It was different from what she had learned at Gryffindor House. Of course, if you have the opportunity to go to Nocturne Alley in the future, you may have heard of my name. Nemesis of the Dark Wizard, Kyle. Kyle didn't blink, and there was a smile on his lips, but his tone was serious. Speaking of my conscience, kind little wizards like me are rare now. Hearing this, Hermione's face turned red. Shua lowered his head. Kyle, can you touch your own? Huh, oh, sorry, mistake. Okay, I have something to do later, if it's okay, I'll go first. Kyle waved his hand. He's going to report to Dumbledore in a while. Well, goodbye then. Hermione was still acting awkward. How can I touch my conscience and say? Touch someone else's awe. Hermione, why are you here? Kyle had just left, and Harry Potter and Ronald Weasley also passed by here. Oh, it's okay, I'm going back to the common room. Hermione said it in a natural way. Well, then we can go back together. No, Harry, I think you should go to the school infirmary first. I really don't understand why you suddenly feel that Snape is your father. Ronald on the side interjected. Oh, Ronald, you don't understand. Professor Snape seems to be targeting me, but he has to admit that he was the third one I came to Hogwarts to meet. The second one. Harry originally wanted to say the third person who cared about him, but think about it. He didn't know if the second Kyle morning in the Transfiguration room counted. Anyway, I can feel that he attaches great importance to me. Remember what Kyle said, I'm at Hogwarts. But he told you to go to the school infirmary. Ronald couldn't complain anymore. But you didn't notice that his tone was very harsh before, and he was not harsh when he spoke later. Hermione, what do you think? Hermione was out of her mind, preoccupied with Kyle, and was suddenly called by name. A casual perfunctory sentence. Perhaps you are right. There must be something that makes him not want to recognize me. I think it's the eyes. He always stares into my eyes today, probably because he doesn't like my eyes. Hermione, do you know of a way to change the color of my eyes? Harry turned to the schoolmaster Hermione for help. Well, I don't know too well. But maybe you should go to the library to find a way, there are a lot of books there. It makes sense. Principal room. Dumbledore, I have something to tell you. For the second time in one day, Snape stepped into the headmaster's office. Severus, you're here. Dumbledore caught up on his morning sleep. This will look good, of course, only looks. Because he just sent away Professor McGonagall and Professor Flitwick. My heart is in a mess. I thought Kyle was just playing a little trick like the twins. But, small, facts have proved that the pattern of Loudang's head is still small. Compared with him, the twins are simply obedient children. It's the first day of school. The ceiling of the Transfiguration classroom is gone, and the walls of the Charms classroom are gone. Counting Snape, head of Slytherin. 3 deans in Hogwarts have come to complain. Maybe we should think of a way. We can't let Kyle kid go on like this. Dumbledore rubbed his brow in distress. Of course, this way of thinking. It's not about dismissal or punishment. Instead, figure out a better way to educate Kyle. By the way, he really didn't want to hear from Snape again. No, absolutely not. I absolutely do not agree to deal with Kyle. Immediately afterwards, Snape's words directly confused Dumbledore. Quote ? No, did my old man hear wrong? He came over 2 days in a row and said that Kyle must be fired. The result is now. Severus, Minerva and Flitwick both came and sued me just now. Say it's the kid Kyle. Dumbledore, you said so. As teachers, we cannot simply define right and wrong for children. We should find a way to guide and educate. Snape interrupted before Dumbledore could finish speaking. using what Dumbledore had said to him that morning. The old bat had already experimented with Kyle's potion. The effect is exactly as he said. After drinking it for a week, I obviously feel warmer in my body. Some more experiments were done. Skin wounds will be healed as soon as they appear, and some curses from black magic can also be effectively resisted. That's enough. The greatest significance of this, new life medicine, is to propose the concept of drinking medicine in advance to prevent danger. The specific functions and formulas can be gradually developed and adjusted in the future. Just relying on this potion invention, it would take a long time for Kyle to learn the basics of potion science. He will be called the Master of Potions. After all, the biggest difference between a potion master and an ordinary alchemist is not the method of refining medicine, but improvement and innovation, which requires his own famous work. Such a person, Snape couldn't bear to throw him out of Slytherin. Listen, Dumbledore, Kyle is a student of Slytherin. If you want to punish and deal with Kyle, you must agree with me, the Dean. You mean you're willing to take responsibility for Kyle? Dumbledore looked up. You can say that if you have to. The expression on Snape's face didn't change much. After all, I have been proud for more than 30 years. Okay, here's the bill from Minerva and Flitwick for repairing the Transfiguration and Charms classrooms. You know, our castle has magic, and it can't be repaired with a simple repair spell. I'm worrying about this kid Kyle not having parents. Severus, it's very kind of you to do this. Dumbledore quickly produced 2 bills. Fearing that Snape would repent, he stuffed it directly into Snape's hand. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Snape was completely dumbfounded. No. Not to mention that the potion worth at least 30,000 galleons that he had stored was stolen by that brat. Now you have to be responsible for wiping his ass. What is resentment? Dumbledore, Snape began to speak. He was interrupted by Dumbledore waving with a smile. It's hard to come up with a big complaint. Old Dang didn't want to give him a chance to repent, otherwise he would have to pay the money. Let's not talk about that for now. Severus, what is the purpose of you coming to see me? Oh, Snape took out 3 bottles of red potion with a deadpan expression. This is the new type of potion that Kyle refined in the potions class just now. The specific effect is, I think it's worth at least an order of Merlin, 2nd class. Real. Dumbledore pushed his glasses. He once discovered 12 uses of dragon's blood. He was good at alchemy, but he also had a deep knowledge of potions. He picked up a bottle of potion and opened it, smelled it first, and then drank it. Dumbledore closed his eyes and felt it. After releasing several detection magics in a row, he opened his eyes. His face was already full of surprises. Teaching an excellent student will undoubtedly bring glory to Hogwarts as a whole. This kid, I didn't expect him to have such a high talent in potions. Great, don't worry, Severus, leave the application for the Order of Merlin to me. Snape looked at Dumbledore with an excited face. Look at the 2 bills in hand again. The joy just now is gone. He couldn't figure it out. Why is it me who gets hurt every time? Well, I'll go first. Never mind, I don't want to. The more I think about it, the more tired I get. Ding. Depression detected. Ding. The treasure chest is being extracted for the host. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a golden treasure chest. ... Professor, may I come in? Not long after Snape left, the door to the headmaster's office was opened again. A small head poked out from the outside. It was Kyle. Certainly, son, I've been waiting for you for a long time, and I can't wait to teach you lessons. Dumbledore was still affable. I knew the professor was a good person, so I brought you some candies and desserts. Kyle was carrying a tote bag. Put it on the table and open it. Inside are some Honeyduke's candy shop specials. Among them, the most cockroaches are piled up. See your favorite candy dessert. Dumbledore's smile grew even wider. Oh, a pile of cockroaches. And strange-smelling beans. And the latter, just like our life, has countless flavors. Dumbledore picked up an odd-flavored bean and popped it into his mouth. He wanted to take this opportunity to instill some truth in Kyle. As a result, the facial features suddenly became twitching in the next second. Oh, Merlin, it actually smells like shit. Today is really unlucky. But it doesn't matter, we can look forward to the next one. Just like life, you never know how sweet the next one will be. Swallowing the strange flavored beans, Dumbledore picked up another one on his own. Well, the taste of this one. Well, it looks like I'm unlucky today. It's snotty, a little salty, and sticky. Kyle was immediately shocked. If this weird flavored bean is life, well, it's shit and snot again. How did your old man have the courage to live to be more than 100 years old? Oh, this one is much better. It tastes like strawberry and is very sweet. And I think it's just because of the bad mistakes of the first 2 times that the choice is extra sweet now, don't you? Boy. Of course, Professor, I think what you said makes sense. But I have a question. Kyle stroked his chin. After all, my child, it is the bounden duty of every teacher in Hogwarts to explain students' doubts, even if I am the headmaster. Dumbledore felt that his performance just now was really wonderful. Use strange beans to describe life. This is much better than talking dryly. Perhaps some more educational methods like this can be used. My problem is, how did you know that the one just now smelled like dog shit? By the way, there's still the smell of snot. Dumbledore. No, my old man is racking his brains here to find ways to reason with you and educate people. As a result, you have grasped these 2 key points. Well, what was I going to say just now? Thinking is not coherent. Ding. Depression detected. Ding. The treasure chest is being extracted for the host. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a golden treasure chest. ... Well, just kidding, Professor, I don't think you will mind. Actually, I came here mainly to admit my mistake to you. The treasure chest has been obtained, and Kyle's expression is serious. I couldn't control my magic power in Transfiguration and Charms classes today. Some damage was done, so... Oh, it's okay. Dumbledore was relieved to hear that. He thought something big had happened again. Your headmaster, Snape, has come to see me, and he's paying for classroom repairs. It's just that the magic power is not well controlled, so I can't blame you. Really, so it has nothing to do with me. Of course, we can't punish students for such a trivial matter. Old Dang waved his hand with a smile on his face. Then I saw Kyle quickly put all the desserts on the table back into the handbag. Finally, he put his hand back into his messenger bag that had been cast with the untraceable stretching charm. Son, what are you? Oh, Professor, it just occurred to me that eating too much sweets for the elderly is not good for the teeth, so let's go to class first. The next time I make a mistake, I'll bring it back for you. Kyle showed his white teeth. The smile froze on Dumbledore's face. No, is there such a gift? After finishing the work, take back the things you brought. And there is a next time. Ding. Depression detected. Ding. The treasure chest is being extracted for the host. Ding. Congratulations to the host for getting a diamond treasure chest. ... Okay, today we'll talk about the Patronus charm. After a long time, Dumbledore breathed a sigh of relief. He felt that his blood pressure had soared just now, and he almost passed it directly. It's a very ancient spell that can ward off a lot of dark magic, including Dementors. His spell is invocation. Only a few wizards can summon a complete Patronus. But I think with your talent, it's not difficult. When using the Patronus charm, try to remember those moments that made you feel happy. ... 2 hours later, Kyle left Dumbledore's office. Feeling exhausted. Old Deng to give a lecture, it's good. The problem is that 7 of the 10 sentences must be about ideological education. Only 3 sentences are useful. There are too many adulterated private goods. If it weren't for the huge treasure chests he harvested, Kyle would have quit long ago. In fact, in the office, Dumbledore was no better than Kyle. Tired. Dumbledore felt that he had been in these 2 hours of class. Compared with the battle with Grindelwald in the valley. Oh, the metaphor doesn't quite fit here. More tired than when he fought Voldemort. It's not like where did this brat come up with so many crooked truths. For example, I told him that young people should be full of vigor and work hard in the right direction. The little bear nodded, and said something with a deeply appreciative expression. Indeed, if you don't try hard once, you don't know how comfortable it is to give up. Tell him that Galen is not omnipotent, and many things cannot be bought. The bear raised his head and asked back, Professor, could it be because you don't have enough galleons? It's so reasonable. Take Voldemort as an example. If he had enough galleons in his hand back then, you can hire all kinds of wizards all over the world to fight in England. The Death Eaters were all drowned with their spittle. Reasonable Dumbledore didn't know how to refute it. Looking back now, it was a nightmarish 2 hours. Night, Castle Hall. The meals at Hogwarts are sumptuous. This can ensure that the little wizards can get enough nutrition after a hard day's study. On the long table in Slytherin, the atmosphere was still weird. All the little snakes were silent, and everyone left early after eating. Hey buddy, we heard that. It's amazing. While Kyle was enjoying the food, 2 people suddenly sat down beside him. Yellow Weebo, 90% of the similar appearance. It was the Weasley twin. On the first day of school, you blew up 2 classrooms in a row. I can assure you that all the students at Hogwarts are not as talented as you in mischief. I've heard, you've been ostracized in Slytherin, haven't you? Do you need our help? We can use the big dung eggs to make a concerted effort, just tonight. Oh, by the way, I forgot to introduce myself, my name is George. He's Flender. I am George, and you are Flender. Sorry, not tonight, I have something to attend to. To be honest, Kyle was a little moved to hear the twins' proposal. But how? I can't pass this test of my own conscience. As a kind little wizard, how could he attack his lovely classmates? Not only can't do it yourself, Kyle also decided to give the twins a hard time. My name is Kyle, and by the way, I have some ideas about the big shit. Kyle, tell me. George looked up. There is a feeling of encountering like-minded people. My heart is eager to try. But when it comes to pranks, he thinks he won't lose to anyone. We think the big dung egg is the best prank, cheap and destructive. Fred added. No, it's not enough, it's not close. Kyle shook his head. You're bound by the name Big Dung. Think about it, what if you add other things to it? Say, pepper, paprika. Or, strong laxatives. Or bolder, strong antidiarrheals. After the words were finished, the twins' expressions immediately became terrified. Are you a devil? Even strong laxatives. And strong antidiarrheals. Is this to suffocate people to death? Genius prank idea. The twins were instantly convinced. Correct me, I'm not calling this a prank. Kyle slowly inserted a piece of steak into his mouth. A mischievous act is a malicious act of pleasing oneself by injuring another. It's a violation of school rules. What I discussed with you just now is how to effectively defend against some dark wizards with malicious intentions when the little wizard's magic power is not enough. It's all about working hard for the future of the wizarding world. Perhaps the Ministry of Magic will award me an Order of Merlin after knowing about my research topic. Okay, I have something to do later. Nice to meet you. See you tomorrow. If the new type of big dung egg is ready, remember to leave a copy for me. After speaking, Kyle left in a hurry after eating the last piece of steak. He still has work to do. Only the twins with glazed eyes remained. They feel that the whole person has been baptized. Is he really a first-year little wizard? After a long time, George still didn't come to his senses. Probably, but we are all playing a prank. Why does his mouth always feel full of a sense of sacred mission? Maybe, he is not an ordinary little wizard. 2 people can't figure it out. It was all a prank. Why in Kyle's mouth it became working for the future of the wizarding world. Hey man, now is not the time to think about this, we need to hurry up and do what Kyle said. Yes, Flender. Night. Kyle left the castle alone. There are 2 Ibrahimovic squatting on the shoulders. It's the exact opposite of daytime. At this time, Son Ibrahimovic was drowsy, but Moon Ibrahimovic was extremely energetic. Okay, I know you're hungry, and I'll bring you something to eat soon. A yo-yo-like creature dangled from Kyle's wrist. Brilliantly colored and full of thorns. Winged demon. Also known as the curled winged bat. It is rated as a 5x level magical creature by the Ministry of Magic. The creature looks like a bat, colorful and covered in spines. When flying without using its wings, a crooked devil huddles inside a spiny egg sac. Kyle's fantastic animal affinity talent was acquired very early. This talent can make most magical animals have a natural affection for him. I have also collected many pet companions over the years. It can be said that the title of Blood Demon must be at least 1/3 of the credit for those partners. It's a pity that because I came here to go to school, I could only bring a relatively small one with me. But the speed of collecting treasure chests in Hogwarts far exceeded Kyle's expectations. I believe it will soon be obtained or grown enough to make a huge suitcase like Newt. With the winged demon, he hunted a few wild beasts to barely fill his stomach. Kyle had only begun the real purpose of this trip. His heart of black magic talent was acquired not long ago. It can effectively increase all kinds of black magic. But Kyle wasn't used to this level of growth. Magic does not mean that the more powerful the better. What's more important is the ability to control the spell. It takes practice. In terms of improving his own strength, Kyle has never slacked off. Who would have thought that he had just found a slightly wider open space, when a sound of horseshoes sounded, and Kyle was stopped. Little pony, stop your steps and go back to the castle. The Forbidden Forest is filled with blood tonight. Stay here and you will be in danger. No, it is not appropriate to say that it is a human being. The lower body is a horse, and the upper body is a human. It is the centaur family in the Forbidden Forest. Mr. Horseman, may I know what happened? Upon hearing that there was danger, Kyle suddenly became interested. Isn't this just a good way to train your own spells? Just as the centaur in front of him was hesitating, another centaur with a bow and arrow came running over. Firenze, what are you dawdling about? The dozen or so warriors of the tribe have assembled, and Elena is still waiting for us to rescue him. Ronan, I met a human pony who sneaked into the Forbidden Forest. You know, I'm looking up from the sky, we're going to get help, maybe this is human. What are you kidding? Ronan the centaur subconsciously frowned. The centaurs are very repulsive to humans. They do not recognize their identity as a sub-race. In the whole of Hogwarts, only Hagrid and Dumbledore got their approval. Just turned to look at Kyle. Ronan couldn't help feeling a cordial feeling in his heart, and even his tone became kind. Listen, kid, it's dangerous here, go back quickly. Sir, can you tell me what happened? Maybe I can help. I brought two very powerful partners, and the winged demon. In order to prove his own strength. Kyle revealed the winged demon in his hand. This is a 5x level magical animal recognized by the Ministry of Magic. Even in the Forbidden Forest, it is a creature at the top of the food chain. Well, the daughter of our tribal chief was captured by the Acromantula. We organized warriors to sneak into the spider's lair to save her. After discussing with Firenze, Ronan still told Kyle what happened. Live rescue. Kyle's eyes lit up. You may not believe it, but what I'm best at is lurking. Please let me join you. Joke. A pint of Acromantula's venom is worth 100 galleons. Who is not interested in money? Ronan hesitated. Just then Firenze spoke. Ronan, I think we should follow the instructions of fate. The astrology tells me that we will get help tonight. Okay, I can take you with me, but you need to promise me that you must follow us. If the situation is not right, you have to escape as soon as possible, regardless of our life or death. I see, sir. Kyle nodded obediently. He was nothing more than an Acromantula, a walking gin gallon. Okay, ride on me. The two centaurs led Kyle to join their companions first. These are the best hunters in the centaur tribe. After a brief exchange, Ronan was responsible for driving Kyle, and the others surrounded Kyle and Ronan. To be ridden by a human is a disgrace to a centaur. Just thanks to Kyle's fantastic animal affinity talent. No one thought there was anything wrong. The crowd crossed a dense forest, walked for more than half an hour, and finally came to the territory of the Acromantula. A large number of spider webs have begun to appear in the woods. Fist-sized spiders crawled past from time to time. Okay, we're here, from now on, we need to be extra cautious. Ronan put Kyle down. Try to find a way to rescue Elena without disturbing the acromant spider. Let me do it, I actually know lurking best. Seeing this, Kyle quickly took out his wand and took a step forward. Is there any magic? Firenze asked curiously. The centaurs also have their own mysterious powers. It's just some divination and the like. Doesn't do much for combat. This also makes them always at a disadvantage in the friction with the giant eight-eyed spider. Of course, Kyle grinned. His expression was slightly serious. Above the forehead, sky blue vertical pupils appeared. As bright as a sapphire. Fierce flames, fierce flames, fierce flames. 3 fierce fire curses in a row, jet black flames flying all over the sky. This so-called flame from hell has a temperature far exceeding that of ordinary flames. In addition, it is autumn at this time, the weather is dry, and the trees are at their most oily. Spider webs are flammable. Before the horsemen came back to their senses, the fire had already spread. Kyle's fire curse was not as good as the 3 unforgivable curses. But there are also 7 levels. With a wave of the wand, the violent flames were immediately divided into 2 sides, leaving an open space in the middle. Let's go save people, gentlemen of the Centaur. Firenze couldn't help swallowing. Kyle, is this what you mean by lurking? Of course, false lurking, carefully avoiding the enemy, for fear of being discovered. Real lurking, go straight in and kill all witnesses. Kyle looked up. Horseman, this makes so much sense. Wrong. Makes sense what a ghost. Is this really the level a little wizard should have? Seeing the blazing fire in front of them, the horsemen were all numb from the shock. Ding. Shock detected. Ding. The treasure chest is being extracted for the host. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a silver treasure chest. ... Ding. Shock detected. Ding. The treasure chest is being extracted for the host. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a bronze treasure chest. Chapter 31. After decades of reproduction, the Acromantula family has reproduced. The number has grown to more than 3,000. He has gradually become the overlord in the Forbidden Forest, and no creature dares to provoke him. It's just that meeting a bear child today is considered a bloody misfortune. Fienfire has no reason at all. Spread at an extremely fast speed. For a while, the screams of the giant 8-eyed spider were endless. 500 or 600 died in just 2 minutes. Facing the overwhelming flames, these 5x level dangerous creatures have no ability to resist at all. In stark contrast, Kyle leisurely walks among the flames. You just need to control the flames so that they don't burn the prey wrapped in a cocoon by the giant Acromantula. Otherwise, once the person to be saved is burned to death, the fun will be great. The horsemen behind them were shocked. This little wizard is too scary, right? ... There, I saw Elena. After walking for a while, Ronan suddenly pointed in a direction to the east. Hearing this, Kyle quickly controlled Fienfire and left a path. Several centaurs ran over and picked up a cocoon made of spider webs. Carefully start cutting the outer cobwebs with the knife. From the appearance point of view, this is indeed a horseman. The spider web is too tough, and it took a lot of effort to get it open. In the end, Kyle couldn't stand it any longer, and asked Moonevie to cut the spider web with a flash of lightning. Ronan, Firenze, have you been caught by the giant 8-eyed spider? Where is this underworld? It wasn't until then that Kyle saw clearly what the daughter of the centaur chieftain looked like. He looked about 16 or 17 years old. The facial features are exquisite and pure, but the figure is hot. Silver hair hangs down naturally. From the waist down, the lower body is a horse, with pure white hair without any variegation. There is an indescribable temperament. Iron, it was Kyle who saved you. Ronan didn't dare to take the credit, and quickly pointed to Kyle. In fact, he did nothing along the way. Thank you, my hero. Elena's eyes lit up when she saw Kyle. Even in terms of the aesthetics of the horse people, Kyle's appearance is enough to be called off the charts. Elena ran to Kyle's side, lowered her head and rubbed Kyle's face. This is the way the centaurs show their closeness. It means that I have exposed my most critical weakness, the neck, to your face without any defense. Then Elena leaned down and motioned for Kyle to ride on her back. You're welcome, I was just doing a little favor. Kyle rode up. Have to say, compared to that rough guy like Ronan, Elena's back is much softer. And it's big. Oh, it's talking about a wide back. Nothing else big. ... Well, this is not the place to talk, Kyle, the centaurs will not forget your help today. When the man was rescued, all the horsemen breathed a sigh of relief. Firenze's tone was even more solemn. Are we going back now? Before he knew it, Kyle had become the backbone of the team. No, I still have something to do, you can go back first, or wait for me here. Kyle shook his head. The centaurs have no rule of abandoning friends. Firenze refused without thinking. Whatever you do, we will help you. ... Wizard, why did you hurt my heir? At this moment, an old and angry voice sounded. It was Aragog, the ancestor of the Acromantula family. Actually, I'm planning to go deep into the Acromantula's lair. But it seems that there is no need for it now. Kyle stopped in the middle of his words, and hurriedly told the Firenze horseman. Forget it, just stay where you are, Firenze, remember to say yes to whatever I say later. Firenze. Just when Firenze was puzzled. Snapped. A crisp sound flashed by. 3 figures and a phoenix appeared in front of them. Dumbledore, Snape, and Professor McGonagall. The latter two held their wands in their right hands, and their left hands rested on Dumbledore's shoulders, apparently hitching a ride here. Dumbledore also had a wary look on his face. There was such a big commotion in the Forbidden Forest, no matter what, it was impossible to escape old Deng's attention. Originally, the 3 of them were discussing things at this time. Seeing the burning flames in the Forbidden Forest, his brows furrowed. It's fiend. All 3 of them immediately recognized the source of the flame. This is magic that only dark wizards can use. And to be able to create such a large scale, the opponent's strength should not be underestimated. At least not much lower than the 4 Deans. When did the British magic world have such a powerful dark wizard again? As soon as I came to the scene to see Kyle, Dumbledore felt like his brain was going to pop out of his head. Good guy. Case solved. In the middle of the night without sleeping, I ran into the woods and set fire. Who else could it be if it wasn't a bear kid? Ding. Depression detected. Ding. The treasure chest is being extracted for the host. Ding. Congratulations to the host for getting a diamond treasure chest. Dumbledore, the fire is spreading. We have to do something. Professor McGonagall looked serious. This is fiendfire. If it continues like this, even the castle will be affected. Okay. Dumbledore nodded. Take the Elder Wand. All of a sudden, from a dying old man to a dying man with a wand. All curses end. The fierce fire curse has no counter curse. It can only be cracked by magic like curse standing. And all curse ends is an upgraded version of curse standing. High requirements for magic power. A powerful spell that originally required many people to complete it together. At the moment it was done by Dumbledore alone. Powerful magic power spreads. No, it's not just as simple as magic power. Kyle felt something different under Dumbledore's spell. Perhaps this is why Dumbledore has been called the greatest white wizard of the century. The reason why they are far more powerful than Snape and his ilk. The fiendish fire that was raging originally was swallowed up by the tongue of fire, but was terminated by the golden magic in an instant. Only a large area of scorched land was left, and there were hundreds of carbonized acromanted corpses. Alright, Aragog, come here too. We need to figure out what the hell is going on. After finishing all this, Dumbledore greeted not far away again. There, Aragog was planning to fight back against Kyle with his prodigious descendants. At this time, the strength displayed by Dumbledore was like a basin of cold water, and his heart was completely chilled. Hearing this, he had no choice but to crawl over with his old body. And you, Kyle, tell me what happened. Dumbledore rubbed his forehead in distress. He couldn't figure it out. How can a child be so energetic? In the morning, the Transfiguration classroom and the Charms classroom were blown up. Researched a new type of potion in the afternoon. Come to set a fire in the Forbidden Forest if you don't sleep at night. Dumbledore, my children tell me. Aragog would be full of grievances. It just stayed in the lair obediently, and did not provoke anyone, and the house was set on fire with fierce fire. Where is this going to make sense? Before he finished speaking, he was interrupted by Kyle first. Professor, I want to sue. Hogwarts is really too dangerous. Really, I was supposed to go back to the dormitory obediently to sleep after dinner tonight. In the end, he was kidnapped to the Forbidden Forest. Kyle is plausible, well-founded, and even has witnesses. The centaur friends I just met can testify for me that I was kidnapped by these spiders. Firenze, centaurs don't tell lies, do they? Firenze, who was suddenly clicked, froze for a moment. Horse people have a proud personality, and they really can't tell lies, and they don't even bother to say them. The issue is, he just said yes to Kyle. No matter what Kyle says later, he will say yes. This goes against his usual character. On the one hand as a friend, on the other hand as the quality of honesty. Just thinking about it, Firenze suddenly realized something was wrong. Wait, Kyle's question seems to be. Yes, centaurs never lie. Firenze replied seriously. Then these fiery flames. Professor, that's exactly what I want to say. These spiders are actually playing with fire in the Forbidden Forest, it's too dangerous. For us little wizards, this is simply a safety hazard. Kyle didn't even bat an eye. When Aragog next to him heard this, his 8 eyes widened. He has basically lived in the Forbidden Forest for decades of his life, and the one he has dealt with the most is Hagrid, a big stupid guy. It's the first time I know. Can black be called white? This is wrong. Obviously, they are the victims of the giant arachnids. Who played with fire? Ding. Sorrow detected. Ding. The treasure chest is being extracted for the host. Ding. Congratulations to the host for getting a diamond treasure chest. Compensation. Compensation must be made. I demand that these acromantids must compensate me, Professor. Kyle ignored Aragog. He can't come here for nothing, can he? The fierce fire curse just now also wasted a lot of mana. Okay, tell me about your conditions. I think Aragog will agree. Of course Dumbledore didn't believe Kyle's words. Although counting last night, it was only a day and a half to deal with each other. But he already understood what this brat said. I believe that a few punctuation marks symbolically prove that there is still trust between people. As long as he believes a word. One day Hogwarts Castle was sold, he might have to be tricked into counting the money. The Acromantoid family has been multiplying in the Forbidden Forest for so long. It has indeed become an unstable factor affecting the safety of Hogwarts. Plus Aragog was old. If one day he dies, these spiders will get out of control. Just take this opportunity to suppress it. Well, I need the Acromantoid family to provide me with 100 pints of venom every month. You have to pay me 5,000 spider eggs. Kyle's eyes light up. Acromantula venom costs 100 galleons a pint in Nocturne Alley. As long as the shipment speed is controlled, the price can be kept at 60 or 70 galleons per pint. It's not a small sum for a month. Another thing is to hatch 5,000 spider eggs and remove the necrotic ones. Kyle can completely build his own army of Acromantulas. It's impossible. Aragog hurriedly refused when he heard the condition. Even the venom. This thing can regenerate, which is nothing to the giant 8-eyed spider. But spider eggs, that is the root of the Acromantis family, which is equivalent to selling a child to someone else. This is a completely impossible condition. Professor, he doesn't agree. Kyle didn't take it seriously, and turned to look at Dumbledore. Maybe I can come to the Forbidden Forest more often in the future. In principle, Hogwarts does not allow little wizards to break into the Forbidden Forest casually. If I find out, I will definitely deduct points for you. And we absolutely disapprove of playing with fire in the Forbidden Forest. Dumbledore looked serious, but these words fell into Aragog's ears. In principle, if found, what if it wasn't discovered? Aragog has not counted the fierce fire today, but at least 600 children were lost. The ethnic group has shrunk by a fifth. Not much, just 4 more times. The Acromantis family can basically become extinct in the Forbidden Forest. And the price this brat needs to pay is just deducting points. Ding. Sorrow detected. Ding. The treasure chest is being extracted for the host. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a golden treasure chest. Okay, I agree. This month's venom and spider eggs, I will give you tomorrow. Aragog's tone was low. This can be said to be the most miserable day since the Acromantoid family began to multiply in the Forbidden Forest. It can be called the darkest hour. Defeat and humiliate the nation. Well then, Aragog, take your child and leave. At this time tomorrow, you come to the Forbidden Forest to trade, and I will be a witness. Dumbledore looked kindly, but no one in the wizarding world dared to ignore the words of this white-bearded old man. I see, Dumbledore. Aragog had no choice but to retreat with their children reluctantly. Give me half of the venom of the giant 8-eyed spider every month. At this moment, Snape, who had been silent until now next to Kyle, suddenly spoke. Before Kyle could speak, Snape added another sentence. I'll replace them with something you need. Thank you, teacher. Kyle immediately beamed when he heard this. The old bat is also considered an authority in potion science, but his connections are not comparable to him. You can buy many materials that are not even banned by the Ministry of Magic on the market. Snort. ... We should go back too, child, it's not too late. To be honest, you should be sleeping in the dormitory at this time. The Acromantula is okay. But Kyle, Dumbledore said that just thinking about it now makes his blood pressure soar. Wait a minute, Professor, I need to say goodbye to my new friend. Kyle got off the centaur lady. It's all about writing, but I haven't said a few words to others yet. Kyle, are you leaving? Elena was a little reluctant at this moment. I'm in the castle, you can come to see me anytime you have time. By the way, if you need something, you can also ask Hagrid to send me a letter. Let's make an appointment in the Forbidden Forest. Okay, I'll go play with you in a few days. Hearing this, Elena became happy. Okay, Professor, let's go. Kyle returned to Dumbledore's side. Put your hand on Loudang's shoulder. Just like when it came, Phoenix Fox waved its wings. After a burst of dizziness, they returned to the familiar principal's office. Talk about the mighty Acromantula family in the Forbidden Forest. Dumbledore and Snape had an overnight meeting with Professor McGonagall. As a participant in the event, Kyle is also eligible to sit on the sidelines. The meeting reached the following consensus. First, the number of giant eight-eyed spiders is too large now, and they need to be controlled. Second, Kyle can go to the Forbidden Forest for a while if he has nothing to do, and shock the following Aragog. Third, it's getting late, Kyle must go back to the dormitory to rest immediately. Late at night, Slytherin hid in class-long bedroom. What a fulfilling day, Kyle stretched. You are indeed the three good little wizards of Hogwarts. Look at how many good things I have done this day. In the transformation class and the charm class, I showed the students what real magic is. In the afternoon, I helped Professor Snape solve the potion materials accumulated for many years. At night, I dealt with the giant spider in the Forbidden Forest. Saved the little princess of the Centaur tribe. Has made a huge contribution to the safety of Hogwarts. System, list my attributes. Emotional treasure box system. Host, Kyle. Race, human, super old 6. Age, 11 years old. Talent, heart of black magic, affinity to fantastic beasts, mastery in herbal medicine, mastery in potions. Magic, killing curse max, cruciatus curse max, imperious curse max, eliminate weapons LV8, stunning ground LV8, armor protection LV8, etc. Pets, sun elf, moon elf, winged bat. Own treasure chests. Diamond treasure chest X5, gold treasure chest X6, silver treasure chest X13, bronze treasure chest X21. There are already 5 diamond treasure chests stored in the system. However, as the tolerance and adaptability of other people increase, I am afraid it will not be so easy to obtain the diamond treasure chest. Kyle clasped his hands together. Sanching is above, the Jade Emperor blesses, the Tathagata Buddha protects. Oh, by the way, there's Merlin on top. System, open 5 diamond treasure chests. Ding. Congratulations to the host for opening the diamond treasure chest and getting the talent, Son of Flame. Ding. Congratulations to the host for opening the diamond treasure box and getting twice the magic power. Ding. Congratulations to the host for opening the diamond treasure chest and obtaining the magical animal breeding base. Ding. Congratulations to the host for opening the diamond treasure chest and getting the talent mastery of runes. Ding. Congratulations to the host for opening the diamond treasure chest and gaining mastery in alchemy. A moment later, a series of 5 beeps sounded in Kyle's mind. A magic power was born from Kyle's body, and then it grew stronger. After a while, Kyle felt that his magic power had doubled. And the magic power in the source of magic power on the forehead also doubled. In terms of magic power alone, Kyle felt that the total amount of magic power at this time was not inferior to Dumbledore's. Just reminiscing about that ultimate curse that Dumbledore cast alone tonight. It seems that there are some inexplicable things in the magic power. It is definitely not as simple magic. At the same time, thousands of mysterious symbols, large and small, appeared in Kyle's mind. Runes. This is the word learned and used by ancient wizards, and it has mysterious power. It's just that more than half of it has been lost until now, and now it is more used in alchemy. As for the remaining 3 rewards, Kyle looked at the system description. Son of Flame. You are the darling of all flames, and all fire-attributed powers in your hands will be commanded like arms, immune to fire damage. Alchemy talent. You are a natural alchemy master. No matter what alchemy knowledge is in front of you, you will quickly understand and learn it. Fantastic beast breeding base. Yes, that's right, it's the suitcase you thought of, but it's bigger. Look at the reward description of the system. Kyle was speechless. This system is definitely a serious lazy cancer. And it's still late. Reward descriptions are all copied and pasted directly. Dare to use dim sum. Let's not talk about the Son of Flame and alchemy talent. What Kyle is looking forward to most now is the Fantastic Beasts breeding base. An ordinary-looking suitcase appeared on the floor in front of him. Open the suitcase, and inside is a downward staircase. Kyle walked down the stairs and was in a room after a while. Decorated in British style, the entire Fangjon U has more than 100 square meters. Divided into kitchen, living room, bedroom and bathroom. Push open the door of the room and go out. It suddenly became clear. The specific description passed by the system has been received. The area of the entire space is as much as 200 square kilometers. It is equivalent to half of the Haidian district in Kyle's previous life, or a quarter of Hong Kong Island. As expected of a system product, it is several times bigger than Newt's in area. Overhead is the sky, the moon and the stars. The season and climate of this Fantastic Beast breeding base are consistent with the outside world. The ground is simply divided into 3 areas: mountains, plains, and forests. A meandering river meanders through 3 areas. Provide the necessary daily drinking water for the living magical animals inside. The system also thoughtfully presented many ordinary small animals and beasts. Saved Kyle a lot of time building a miniature biosphere. Next morning, principal room, a cup of black tea, plus a sandwich, and a few pieces of candied fruit. Dumbledore sipped his breakfast leisurely. From time to time, he broke off a small piece and fed it to Fox. Desserts can bring a good mood throughout the day. It's just this good mood, after the door of the principal's office opened and a head stuck in from the outside. It came to an abrupt end. Fox is also in a bad mood. Ibrahimovic had already run in early, trying to jump onto the shelf where he was perched. Good morning, Professor. Good morning. The moment he saw the brat, old Deng's smile became unnatural. If I remember correctly, you should be in the classroom at this time. Oh, the morning class is history of magic, I've inquired about it in advance. Just go back and ask your classmates to borrow your notes. Kyle walked in as if nothing had happened. In the previous life, elective courses must be escaped, and compulsory courses must be escaped. These are the most basic operations. In fact, for the history of magic course, it is not so easy to borrow a complete set of notes. Cuthbert Bin's classes are so hypnotic. 90% of little wizards can't help but slip away in class, get distracted or even fall asleep directly. This also makes the note value of this course soar. Old Deng felt that his brain was not enough. It is not uncommon for students to skip classes at Hogwarts. But it's fine for you to skip class, and fled to the principal's office without any hesitation. More or less a bit too much, right? Ding. Depression detected. Ding. The treasure chest is being extracted for the host. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a silver treasure chest. Professor, let's continue with last night's class. I suddenly became interested in alchemy yesterday, and I know you are also a master alchemist. Kyle was in high spirits, curiosity written all over his face. Oh fine. Dumbledore put away his breakfast and wiped his mouth. Forget it, just skip a history of magic lesson. It's better to let this brat under your nose than to cause trouble outside. Let me think about where we were talking yesterday. By the way, child, how is your Patronus charm practice? That's what I wanted to say, Professor, there doesn't seem to be any progress. Kyle felt helpless. The spell was harder than he thought. He obviously understood all the key points of casting the spell, but he couldn't release it successfully. Maybe you can try it now, maybe I can give you some advice. Dumbledore didn't think much of it. The Patronus charm is different from ordinary charms in a sense. As long as ordinary spells are practiced hard, whether it is fast or slow, they will always improve. But the Patronus charm is different, it's not just talent that's tested. Is Voldemort talented? He can't let it go. If Kyle can manage to cast a full Patronus charm, then Dumbledore can rest assured that he doesn't have to carry out that tiring ideological education anymore. Okay, Professor. Kyle nodded, and casually produced a wand. A little emotional brewing. Call God to protect you. The standard incantation is spoken, and the wand is tapped forward. Both the mantra and the emotion are already in place. Unfortunately, there was no reaction from the magic. To be precise, there is no response. At least a faint wisp of mist rose from the front of the wand. Professor, I reached this level last night, but there has been no progress. Kyle shrugged. Although it was just a wisp of smoke, it also showed that he had the potential to learn this spell. Okay, let me think about it. Dumbledore frowned, too, lost in thought. He was also a little confused. Realization inadvertently glanced at the old-looking wand in Kyle's hand. A thought suddenly crossed my mind. Can I see your wand, child? Wand? Which one are you talking about? Kyle looked blank. Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Do you have many roots? Dumbledore froze. There aren't many, are there? Saying that, Kyle started to get out of his messenger bag. A moment later, looking at the more than 100 wands piled up in front of him, the corners of Dumbledore's mouth twitched slightly. Good guy. There are not many calls for this. I'm afraid you don't carry this wand shop with you, do you? Ding. Shock detected. Ding. The treasure chest is being extracted for the host. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a silver treasure chest. These were Kyle's trophies in Nocturne Alley. Second-hand wands weren't worth much. So I haven't sold it all the time, maybe it will be useful sometime. Okay, so which of these wands do you use most? Dumbledore could see that the wands were showing signs of wear and tear. Some of them are more worn than the eyes. I use them all the time, and I usually use whichever one comes in handy. Kyle grinned. His strength mainly comes from black magic, and he has basically reached the level of casting spells without a staff. Against wizards who are stronger than him, one more wand will not affect anything. Against wizards who are weaker than him, no magic wand is needed. As for your question, why not go to Diagon Alley to order a wand? Stop making trouble, there was such a big battle at the station last school. Let alone Diagon Alley. ... This time Dumbledore was genuinely shocked. A wand as a wizard's weapon. Mutual selection requires constant running in to use freely. As strong as Snape left his wand, he couldn't exert much strength. And Kyle, with these messy wands, can set off a bloodbath in Nocturne Alley. Old Deng felt that he should re-evaluate Kyle's potential. I think you should customize a magic wand that is unique to you, it will be of great help to your spellcasting. Really? Kyle snapped up. Wand or not, it doesn't matter. He was about to find a chance to go out of the castle to bring in the pets he left outside. It's good now. The headmaster personally took the truancy. How majestic. Then let's go now, Principal, I can't wait. Okay, we'll let Fox take it. Dumbledore got up and picked up his hat. He thought Kyle was getting a little overexcited. But he didn't think much about it. Oh, Professor, I need to tell you that if I show up in Diagon Alley, someone may come out to welcome me warmly. Even a little too excited, I'm afraid of accidents. It doesn't matter. Dumbledore shook his head with a smile. He is the greatest white wizard of this century. What can be called an accident in front of him? After finishing speaking, he called Fox onto his shoulder, and the two Ibrahimovic jumped onto Kyle's shoulder as soon as they saw that they were about to leave. Grab my arm, boy. No, Professor, I'll just grab your robe. Kyle refused with a smile. Grab your sleeves or something. What if it breaks during teleportation? ... Okay, Fox, take us to Diagon Alley. Dumbledore had just finished speaking. Crack. After a crisp sound, Kyle felt dizzy for a moment, then felt grounded again a moment later. Diagon Alley is here. This is the largest wizarding commercial street in England. Even though the little wizards have already started school at this time, there are still people coming and going here. Very well, here we are, boy. Well, they should be here too. Kyle stretched. To be honest, he really hasn't been to Diagon Alley twice. Mainly because Dumbledore looked puzzled. Haven't waited to come back to God. Crack, crack. Crack. The dense apparition sound suddenly sounded. 4 squads, 12 Aurors appeared in Diagon Alley. The 2 people were directly surrounded in the center. Drop your wand and don't try to resist. Everyone, hurry, evacuate. Get out of here, it's dangerous. The Auror captain at the head felt as if he was facing a formidable enemy, and the cold autumn wind was blowing, and cold sweat fell down. This is the Diagon Alley Special Guard Auror Unit, established by the Ministry of Magic 3 years ago. 12 Aurors are dedicated to guarding Diagon Alley. Just to guard against Kyle. Oh, Merlin, what happened? It was the Aurors sent by the Ministry of Magic to guard Diagon Alley, and they actually dispatched. Get out of here. The originally dense flow of people in Diagon Alley was shouted like this. Those who could apparate left directly on the spot, and the rest quickly hid in the shops on both sides. Diagon Alley, which was crowded with people, became empty in an instant. Watching the scene where a gust of wind blows in front of me until it rolls up a few fallen leaves on the ground. Old Dang was numb all over. All his life, even when he was the second in command of the Saints organization, he never had this kind of treatment. As soon as it appeared, everyone in the street was scared away. Is that okay? Is this what you say someone will greet you warmly? Ding. Depression detected. Ding. The treasure chest is being extracted for the host. Exclamation mark. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a silver treasure chest. Professor Dumbledore, the leading Auror captain, Mullen, is a Ravenclaw kitty who graduated more than 10 years ago. Dumbledore was recognized immediately, quickly motioned to all the subordinates to put down their wands. Professor, why are you here? I brought a student to Diagon Alley for some business. What are you? Mullen glanced at Kyle, then at Dumbledore. I feel like my teeth are hurting. Good guy. This one is already difficult enough, and now he has found such a big backer. Your student is a great man here, and we're here for. Oh, well, I see. Dumbledore interrupted Mullen with a wave of his hand. Kyle is an excellent house in our Hogwarts. I have submitted his application for the Order of Merlin to the Order of Merlin yesterday. Mullen, you don't have to be so vigilant. Mullen's eyes widened in astonishment. Order of Merlin. Who? Blood demon. Merlin, what is going on in this world? Ding. Shock detected. Ding. The treasure chest is being extracted for the host. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a golden treasure chest. Just as they sent off the squad stationed in Diagon Alley, the wall connecting the leaky cauldron behind them suddenly separated. A middle-aged man walked over with a little girl about Kyle's age. The little girl has golden hair, draped over her shoulders, and a pair of big eyes with a sense of aloofness. Cassandra Worley. Kyle recognized the girl immediately. The world is getting more and more interesting. Oh, Professor Dumbledore, it's an honor to meet you here. The middle-aged man's eyes lit up when he saw Dumbledore, and he hurried forward to greet him warmly. Mr. Wally, long time no see. The Worley family is also a pure-blood family, but it's not from England, or rather, it's not now. They migrated to America more than 200 years ago. However, his family has a deep connection with Hogwarts, and many people used to serve as teachers at Hogwarts. There is even a portrait of an ancestor that is still hung in the principal's office. So every generation of the Worley family came to Hogwarts to go to school. I'm sorry, I wrote to you in advance to explain that we have been delayed. I just rushed over now. I'm about to come to Diagon Alley to buy a wand for my niece, and then go to Hogwarts to find you. I didn't expect to meet you here by chance. Mr. Wally apologized. It's all right, I saw Miss Wally once during the holidays, didn't I? Dumbledore winked at Cassandra. The Sorting Hat has already assigned him to Slytherin House. Hogwarts has been established for thousands of years, and various systems are perfect. Of course, in this magical world where pure-blood families monopolize everything. There is nothing unusual about privilege. In fact, Cassandra's entrance ceremony was a few days earlier than other little wizards. Strange, Professor Dumbledore, why is there no one in Diagon Alley today? Wally looked around, a little puzzled. Every time he used to come to Diagon Alley, it was very lively here. Who knows, I think it's because the little wizards have already started school. Dumbledore made up a random excuse. What else? Because he came, people were scared away. Does he, the greatest white wizard of this century, lose face? How about this, Mr. Worley, just hand over your niece to me first. I happen to be taking the students to buy wands too. The Worley family has been in a bit of trouble lately. Otherwise, it will not delay Cassandra's enrollment. Oh, that's really great. To be honest, I've been really busy lately. Sure enough, Wally was overjoyed when he heard that. He greeted Cassandra and said goodbye to Dumbledore. He was going back to America by portkey. That was a terrible experience to think about. After the two parties said goodbye, Dumbledore took the two cubs to Ollivander's wand shop. You are also a freshman at Hogwarts. Cassandra looked at Kyle curiously, and finally stopped on Kyle's green scarf. Slytherin, what a coincidence. My name is Cassandra, you can call me Big Sister. Be my little brother, I will take care of you in school from now on. Cassandra's tone was tinged with arrogance. But Kyle knew that this girl was Sunere. In fact, he is a cold-hearted person. But that's okay. For Kyle, even if Merlin is resurrected, he still has to leave a few boxes behind. Oh, really? That's great. You will be my eldest sister in the future. How about calling you Sister Ka? Don't worry, Sister Ka, I will save face for you later. Kyle put on an excited expression. Sister Ka, this is really a strange name, you can do whatever you want. Cassandra put on a cold look on the surface. But I was a little excited inside. I haven't entered school yet, so I took in a younger brother first. Really not bad. Okay, kids, here we are. While chatting, the three came to the door of Ollivander's wand shop. Ollivander is not only one of the 28 pure-blood holy families. He is also one of the 3 master wand makers in the wizarding world. Many foreigners would come to Diagon Alley specifically to buy his wand. On the outside of the shop it reads, Ollivander, fine wand maker since 382 BC. Kyle couldn't figure it out. What is the state of mind? The slogan, professional cane making for 2,000 years, can be hung on the wall to show off. Professor, let me open the door. Kyle tried to get to the front, not forgetting to turn around and wink at Cassandra. Okay, Dumbledore smiled. He'd found another spark in Kyle. What a polite child. Next second, bang, there was a sound. Kyle kicked open the door of the wand shop. Then swaggered in. Get out of the way, my eldest sister Cassandra is here. Where are people? Hurry up and greet them. Old Dang and Cassandra outside heard Kyle's arrogant voice inside. Suddenly the wind was messy. There is a feeling of blood pressure soaring. Cassandra, ding, depression detected, ding. The treasure chest is being extracted for the host. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a silver treasure chest. Ding. Depression detected. Ding. The treasure chest is being extracted for the host. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a silver treasure chest. Wand shop. Ollivander is crafting a fine wand with a core of carefully selected unicorn hair. Suddenly, he heard the door being kicked open. Trembling hands. The priceless unicorn fur was blown away by the wind. Ding. Depression detected. Ding. The treasure chest is being extracted for the host. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a silver treasure chest. Good morning, Ollivander. Sorry to bother you at this time. Dumbledore hurried in with Cassandra. Oh, Professor Dumbledore, this is really a rare visitor. Ollivander hurriedly stepped forward to greet him warmly. The feathers that Fox sheds are one of the important sources of raw materials for his wand shop. I remember that your earliest wand was still my grandfather's favorite work. A perfect match of fur and dragon heartstrings. The combination of the ruthlessness of the dragon's heartstring and the inner strength of the fir tree allows the wand to create spell energies that are not too deadly but very powerful. A wand for the master of great willpower and the gift of transfiguration. But I think you haven't used him for a long time now. It's a pity. Although I have changed the wand now, I still keep the wand intact and maintain it regularly. Dumbledore replied with a smile. But this time I came here not to maintain the wand, but to bring the 2 children. Kyle and Miss Cassandra are both excellent students at Hogwarts. They're here to pick out their wands. I know, of course I come to the wand shop to pick out wands. Ollivander took out the ruler. So boys, which one of you will come first? Let Kyle go first. Sister Ka, why don't you come first? I may take a little longer. It's okay, just picking a wand. Cassandra turned her head arrogantly. Okay, Mr. Olivander, then let me go first. Kyle took a step forward with a smile. Olivander, what I need to say is that this child's situation may be a little special. Thinking of Kyle's out-of-control magic before, Dumbledore couldn't help exhorting. It's okay, I like picky kids the most. We all know that not only the wizard chooses the wand, but the wand also chooses the wizard. Olivander has been making wands for more than 2,000 years, and I have the ability to find the right wand for every little wizard. Olivander didn't care. Special, how special can it be? Voldemort picked his wands from him back then. So kid, do you usually like to use your left hand or your right hand? Right hand, sir. Carl looked at the wands piled up to the ceiling. Freshmen at Hogwarts have school subsidies, so they can buy their first wand at the price of 10 galleons. If there is an accident in the middle, you can only rely on the original price to buy it. The cost of labor and materials alone is already hundreds of galleons. Olivander took Kyle's measurements carefully. Arm length, shoulder width, height, even neck length. Complimenting while measuring, Kyle explained his professionalism. Olivander will consider every aspect of the little wizard, so don't feel too complicated about the process, which will help you choose the most suitable wand for you. Across Europe, only I can provide such meticulous service. But, Mr. Olivander, we are growing our bodies, and every 3 months, the data of our bodies will change. And a magic wand will be with us for at least several years. How did you manage to use the current data to pick out a magic wand suitable for our future use? Kyle asked his own question. Olivander. Maid, this little wizard talks a lot. Ding. Depression detected. Ding. The treasure chest is being extracted for the host. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a silver treasure chest. ... Okay, let's try this one. Olivander, unable to continue acting, went to a pile of wands and picked one out of them. Oak and Dragon's Tendons, 10.5 inches. Represents strong, powerful, enduring, firm. Sir, are you sure this wand is okay? Kyle is now only talking about magic power. He himself has been double boosted last night, and there is also what is stored in the source of magic power. Plus the berserk bonus of Heart of Black Magic. What is the output of full state and full load? Even he himself has not tried it. Now that you have come to customize the wand, you must choose one that really suits you. Otherwise, it would be different from the wand he snatched in Nocturne Alley. Of course, you have to trust Olivander. I mean, if there is any mistake in the process of experimenting with the wand, I don't need to compensate you, right? Of course not, Olivander said impatiently. No matter how powerful the magic power is, how powerful can a little wizard be? The combination of oak wood and fire dragon's tendons, this wand is no longer a powerful wand that ordinary wizards can handle. Try waving the wand, just lightly. Olivander took out his wand while speaking. There are often young wizards who make a mess of wand shops by choosing the wrong wand, but for Olivander, this is not a problem. All it takes is a simple, restore as new, to fix it. This is his best spell. Okay, Kyle felt relieved when he heard that he was not responsible. A sky blue jewel emerges from his forehead. The talent of Heart of Black Magic is unlocked. Kyle flicked his wand lightly. There was a loud bang. In Ollivander's astonished and disbelieving eyes. Ollivander's wand shop is going straight to heaven. Ding. Sorrow detected. Ding. The treasure chest is being extracted for the host. Ding. Congratulations to the host for getting a diamond treasure chest. The huge roar made the whole Diagon alley tremble. The flow of people who had just resumed outside looked at the location of Ollivander's wand shop in astonishment. The main body of the house flies into the sky and disintegrates. All kinds of building debris and wand fragments fell to the ground and created a huge cloud of smoke. The smoke cleared. Ollivander looked at the wand shop in front of him in disbelief. Ruins. The eyes are dull. In the past, the little wizard who ran away with magic power just messed up the wand shop. But how could it blow up the wand shop like this? This is wrong. A little wizard who is only 11 years old, how can he have such powerful magic power? Not only is it powerful, but it also has a very violent feeling. Mr. Olivander, as you said, I am not responsible for any accidents. Kyle handed over the rest of the wand in his hand. Get rid of your responsibilities for the first time. No. It's okay, I can't blame you. Ollivander wailed, took out his wand and began to release the repair spell. Seeing this, Dumbledore also helped out. It's just that the wand inside can't be restored with the restoration spell. This can no longer be described as a heavy loss. The cost of a wand is dozens of galleons. Looking at the wand fragments on the ground, Ollivander felt like vomiting blood. This is no longer a heavy loss that can be described. Cassandra stared at the scene in front of her in shock. She can be said to be an elite from a real wizarding family. Talented and eager to learn. I have been trying to learn magic since 2 or 3 years ago. In fact, this is not her first wand, the last one was accidentally broken while learning magic. What about the young wizards of the same age who have not yet entered school? She couldn't be more clear. No one can compare to her at all. In her eyes, they are just a bunch of little kids who are nothing. But now Kyle was in front of her, just waving his wand casually. The violent and powerful magic power directly blew up the wand shop. The shock in my heart can be imagined. Is this really something a little wizard of his age can do? Ding. Shock detected. Ding. The treasure chest is being extracted for the host. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a golden treasure chest. ... At this moment, Kyle's eyes were caught by a piece of wood that rolled down to his feet. The whole body of this wood is pitch black, and it looks like it has joints. It looked inconspicuous, but Kyle had a wonderful feeling in his heart just by looking at it. As if that was exactly what he needed. Mr. Ollivander, what is this? Kyle picked up the log and asked Ollivander a question. That's an elderberry. I managed to collect them. There are 3 of them. I wanted to make one out of them. Ollivander glanced at Dumbledore. I wanted to try to imitate a new elder wand, but in the end I failed twice in a row. Elderberry and thestral tail feathers just don't make a perfect match. So I left the last elder. Is this the elderberry? Kyle looked at the wood in his hands curiously. This is a material that is extremely rare in the magic world, and it can be encountered but not sought after. The Elder Wand, one of the 3 Hallows of Death, in Dumbledore's hand, is made of elderberry and the tail feathers of thestrals. Of course, there must be other substances mixed in. Or some unique production methods. Otherwise, Ollivander wouldn't have failed twice in a row. Holding the elderberry, the longing in Kyle's heart grew stronger. Even the magic power in the body began to become active. Sir, may I try this elderberry? It's up to you. Ollivander was seriously casting a spell to restore the wand shop, and he replied casually without thinking about it. After speaking, I realized that there seemed to be something wrong. Wait, kid, just about to open the organization, but unfortunately it was too late. In disbelieving eyes, with a wave of Kyle's arm. Boom, there was another loud bang. Ollivander's wand shop, which was almost restored with great difficulty, spiraled into the sky again. Ollivander. Waterfark. Ding. Sorrow detected. Ding. The treasure chest is being extracted for the host. Ding. Congratulations to the host for getting a diamond treasure chest. When the smoke and dust dissipated for the second time, Ollivander was really about to cry this time. Is there such a little wizard? Frying once is not enough. It even exploded twice in a row. Even when the shadow of the Death Eaters shrouded the British wizarding world, Ollivander's wand shop did not suffer such a loss. Sir, this elderberry is really good. Kyle looked delighted. He felt his magic come alive with this wand. Although no formal attempt has been made, the effect of the spell should be increased by about 30%. Don't underestimate the 30%. This is already a huge increase in Kyle's strength. And that's not even a really successful wand, there's a lot of room for improvement. But thinking about blowing up the wand shop twice in a row, Kyle still felt a little guilty. As a kind little wizard, you must know how to repay your kindness. He decided to make it up to Ollivander. Thinking of this, Kyle said in an adoring tone, "You are such an excellent wand master. I dare say that in the whole of Europe, no, the whole of the wizarding world, there is no better wand master than you." Ding. Nice guy card from Kyle. Ollivander. I thank you 18 generations of ancestors. No, boy, my skills are still far behind. Ollivander said with a serious face. When it comes to making wands, Grigovich in Germany is much better than me. So if you need a wand next time, by all means go to Grigorovich. The 3 great master wandmakers in Europe are equally famous. The competition behind the scenes is also extremely fierce. Everyone wants to overwhelm the other 2 competitors. This is the first time Olivander has seriously stated that he is inferior to others. Nothing else, just hope that this brat will never come over. He is really scared. Ding. Sorrow detected. Ding. The treasure chest is being extracted for the host. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a golden treasure chest. ... After a while, the wand shop was restored again. Kyle also found the wand he was looking for. Okay, Cassandra, it's your turn to choose your wand. Pick a wand. Cassandra was a little confused, glancing at the various fragments in the wand shop. Is there still room for choice? Wait a minute, boy, I still have some in stock. If you're lucky enough, I hope you can find a suitable one. Otherwise, I will have to wait for my next batch of wands to be made. Olivander opened the entrance to the store's cellar. Go in and get a box out of it. This time, I didn't even measure the size, and started to choose for Cassandra. Try this heel, acacia wood with unicorn hair. Also very rare wands. Wands made of acacia wood will refuse to serve wizards other than their own masters. It only shows its performance for the most talented people. Cassandra picked up her wand and flicked it lightly. Immediately a tulip flower bloomed on the tip of the wand. There is a simple way to see if a wand is compatible with a wizard. You just need to see whether the effect is positive or negative when you swing it. Obviously, this is a wand that fits Cassandra. Oh, little girl, your luck is really good, you chose the right one the first time. Please treat this wand kindly. The owner of the acacia wand needs to be meticulous and sensitive enough. I know, sir. Cassandra nodded. So, Olivander, how much is the total? Dumbledore asked when they both finished choosing their wands. Sincere, 20 galleons. Ollivander's heart was bleeding when he said this number. This doesn't even count as a fraction of what he lost today. Even if it is multiplied by 100 times, it cannot make up for his loss today. Well, Fox has been shedding a lot of hair recently. I think I should be able to send you the feather of a blood phoenix in a few days. Old Dang couldn't stand it anymore, and offered compensation. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.